In a quiet library in the world, a history book spills its sordid secrets. Hello, world. My name is Chromaray, and welcome to the end of Decay. By that title, I'm assuming we're stuck in a type of library where we get to see the history of mankind after it's expired. I don't know, it could be something like that. Evening, stranger. You here for a book, I take it? Just sign your name and residence number here. Shelves are alphabetized, and there's a console in their corner. If you need to look something up, don't hesitate to let me know if you need anything. Don't worry, sir, I'm sure I'll let you know if I need anything, including the way out. Can I? You know, I can't escape. I can't escape because this is it. This is the end of ourselves and yourselves and everyone, because the world is ended. So this is the console. An account of the banished, location shelf 4E. 4E? Oh, okay. That's 4E. It makes a little mark. That which has been curator of putrescence, laws of blood and sinew, exorcism of malignancy, that which will be. I want to read those. This one, let's start out with number 5. Okay, I guess we have to go with number 1. We have to start at the beginning. To attempt to assemble a history is to make necessary assumptions of the state of the world as it is. At the beginning of that history, what does that even mean? At the beginning of the history. Where must a writer start their piece? Can one assume that knowledge of the now is universal and will be universal in times future? The history may find a reader. What does that mean? Yet to attempt to describe all events that lead up to the point at which capital H, history, begins is a futile effort. By the time the author has put pen to a percent of all history, more has been discovered and lived, and the point at which history becomes present is always moving. My brain is moving. We can't do anything now. Is that spacebar? This is to presume there is a singular point, a singular present, and indeed a singular history of the world. To have opened this volume, I, the author, may make a few assumptions of you, the reader, whomever you may be, and those assumptions are thus. Firstly, that you know that history is not immutable. A to B, the implacable incrementation of the potential to the actual, rather that the wall of our history has its bricks replaced. I'm so confused right now. I shall not bore you with exploration of the analogy of the ship of Theseus, save to raise the question if we may question the identity of a ship that has undergone complete replacement of its What's the point of reading this? What becomes of the ship if its planks are retroactively made into a jetty, a cabin, a gallows? Dear reader, it's my second assumption that you are in the strain of history. You recognize the events within and how they should have been. What did we get ourselves into? You remove a brick from the wall of history and replace it with what? This happens to be the original brick? Can one examine a brick without its outside context? I think what this is trying to say is that history isn't the way it's written. History is written differently. And thus I begin. Beginning of history, the state of the world as it existed before the confluence of realities. For this volume will refer only to, at the start of the world, rather worlds, plural, the 8 bodies. I'm glad that music, so... Okay, at least it restarted instead of just being the same tune. The 8 bodies beneath the 8 skies stick to a rock. Is this a book? What's that noise? It seems almost gauche to describe the insignificant details that take place on the world. Okay, several pages have been torn out. Good, I didn't want to read that ever. Please tell me this isn't the same thing. I don't want to read any more of whatever this is. I don't think I can read anymore. Oh. No, it just glitched out for some reason. Or, no? I don't know what's going on. Any soul is capable of doing evil to mankind. Any soul, okay. Is this gonna be like the same thing we just read? No, I'm not. A name was once bestowed upon our subject, the scholar of incandescence. The living, in a time they developed certain theses, the world. What? We wrote our own name. I didn't show you on screen for some reason, but that's what we did. You have to click into the screen every single time. That's okay, it's just a little glitchy. I don't want to read anymore. Stop. The book shudders beneath your hand. Oh, this one actually has something that I can understand. How patronizing to assume the reader recognizes events of history as how they should have been. Should. What is should? But its etymology from skuld. Not what ought to be, but guilt. Guilt. That permeates this book as liquid spilled on the page, seeping through the letters as they choose to spill out justifications, retroactive justifications, for the wanton destruction of history. History, dear reader, as the Vandal timeline addresses you, must be aware that history is written in the victor, of course, but that is... It's rewritten by the victor. Okay, then yeah, basically it's just saying history isn't history as we know it. It's whoever wins basically gets to write their story down in the books. This is not just myself, Brick's self, yeah, weird stuff again, like earlier. Here's what the fight was. It was to erase the theory of incandescent decay from history, to better serve their own embedded antediluvian his philosophy. I'm sure you do not need instruction in entropy, but guidance turn your scholar's eye to the theory. You know what? I don't care about scapegoats. Magic radiates from our sun. Oh, this is some weird stuff. This is some witchcraft in this book. This is my crime. To study decay as a font of power and to exhume the dead to bring life to the world. All life is death. But the Vandals of history would rather die in their own insular world than see me vindicated. So they fought in the now and the past, fought to cut me out of the body of history like a tumor. I've never matched the magical fighters, the brutes that the Academy trains. To send a brute against a scholar gives you an idea of their attempted overkill, and they fought to erase me from history. Who? Who are we talking about? It's some like evil dark lord or something who was defeated and they deleted him from history so that he wouldn't come back. What could I do? What could I statize? Please tell me this book is just about over. Which one did we even read? Which one are we on now? Strange echoes sound from behind you. The world beyond the tome in your hands seems to be out of focus, blurred at the edge of vision. Look up from the book, dear reader. Oh no, the librarian. He's the Dark Lord. Oh, there's another person in this library with us now. Hello, librarian. Very well. Stay then, if you insist. See how it ends. Look upon that which it will be. Torn pages litter the ground. They are blank. Only traces of letters remain, as if erased long ago. You can make out but one word. Mistake. Okay, time to leave. Uh-oh, one of the door handles has fallen off. The doors won't budge. What are you doing to me? You're making me learn all of your dirty secrets? The librarian isn't moving. He's still not wanting to look at you. Okay. Why? Very well, stay then if you insist. See how it ends. But I don't insist. I want to leave. I don't want to read more. I made that very clear, I thought. Oh. It's us. The words on the page seem to squirm, taking new shape. Okie dokie. Oh, it's not letting me read it. It's blocking me. The Vandal timeline. Their efforts were successful. That Vandal timeline would have you believe that its efforts were successful. So too would the Vandals have you believe that I was subdued without great cost to their enterprise. But this itself undermines the claims made against me. No, me. I would have you understand that I was, and remain, a threat greater than the accursed Maggie were capable of anticipating. So, they deleted him from history, but he's still there. Our struggle was one which lasted throughout time, and one which lingers even now indeed. Now, for now has long been the foremost battlefront of our ill-conceived war. As to then, it need not be discussed. It need not be discussed. Does it matter how I was, as they say, vanquished? Do the details of my indignity fascinate you so? Would you seek to put such methods into practice, to learn from them? Or is it mere curiosity? Or does it not matter? No, only that, for a time I was gone. Gone. I will concede that, for it is an empirical fact. For decades I was a scholar, a sorcerer, an enemy of mankind, and then I was nothing at all. I languished in the wrenching void, where there is no light, no life, no death. In this place where nothing can be or cease to be, I was deprived of the powers I had once studied so audaciously. And yet, though this world was spared for a time for my work, I was not the source of its rot. I merely harnessed it. This guy sounds like Voldemort, but, I guess, a very self-absorbed Voldemort. Like this world, the void created to entrap me is a wound itself. It was never cauterized, never fully closed. It weeps even now, never disinfected. And I, perhaps, am the infection, the fever that boils within, perhaps. I tire of this volume's insipid self-gratification. I shall not call you to your reader any longer, for I felt the point of your quill and its grave impetus. We have co-written this tome, so let us recap. Uh-oh, apparently we're helping him do whatever this is. That's you. We need to burn the book. I'm not gonna help you rewrite history. One more. Click on it again. Or no, we can't do anything. The ink begins to run. Dry pages separate from the tome's spine, whipped away by a gust of wind without a source. What? But the book's right here. You have come this far already. No. Fervent what? As you pick up the remnants of a page, a name, the meaning of a name, that sound by which I summon myself, that forbidden scream at last, the organ of selfhood ripe and ringing in its shell. With all the world an open, rotting rind, the flesh is sweet and the seeds poised to sprout as I have planted them. The psyche's wordless chime, a wail or a song or a silence. The exquisite pain of evocation. You chose to stay. What do you mean I didn't choose to stay? There's nothing out there for you. What do you mean the doors were locked the first time I tried leaving? I tried leaving as soon as I entered this place. You can't tell me I'm wanting to stay. A cold, yellowing stone. You pick it up, finding it deceptively light, and turn it in your hand, and it grins at you. Its eye sockets pulse with light. What? Is that the sorcerer's stone? All death is life. All death is life. Is that the bad guy, or is that just some crazed lunatic like we are now, who read this? You have come this far already. It is time to read more. Time to finish the tome, if we are allowed. Can you feel it? The world is changing, and you and I with it, as the words throughout this tome wriggle and rewrite themselves to the truth. From the void, from the gap between time and space, the garbage heap of reality, I return. I will not brag, I will not exclaim delight, I will not hold myself loftily over those who sought to oppose me, for this is simply how history should have been. My, how it feels to be reunited with a body. Oh no, to have this servant limbs scribe its name, my soul into the book of history. Do you remember now? Flesh of mine, last forgotten body, do you read the words your own soul writes and feel a resonance, a reverberation? You are me, are we, soul and bone reunited, my name carved into your skull. the last thread the Vandals could not find. Oh, so they created us as like a body, like a Hulkrox thingy. And whoever beat the demons before didn't destroy me, so now the demon is back inside of us. So now we come to the right path, the right time. The events of history corrected the world. All the magic blooming from Decay, I can almost smell it. So much richness, so much potential, energy squandered to remain in the ground for the worms. Whilst the other words stagnate, it will now be, it will always have been, that the fruits of the world are shared with the heavens, the first step of the first history. Humanity will not die with the sun, will not rot away on the one world, but will spread to the stars. Oh frick, they're gonna summon all of their darkness and put it everywhere. Oh my god, what's going on? The living and the dead of the world will become the seed of the magic to sustain us forever, forever. These new worlds we can see further, build ourselves vessels to find new stars of magical spectra. Through the death of the world, humanity will never die. All death is life. This person's nuts. This is my gift. This is my gift. I forgive humanity for my banishment. I forgive them. I will destroy them. Pitiful souls of twisted dogma that they are. With my name coursing through the book of history, they need never have attempted to cause my ending. They need never have banished me to that void. Never, 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 to that no place. They need never, 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 never. But I remember I remember that it was like to be nothing. What it was like to be nothing. To be no one. To be alone from everything. To be somewhere cold and dark. It would have been a blessing to be able to identify anything as cold as darkness. What I leave the world with is far more gracious than ever done to me. Oh, great. Is there a secret message in this? Or is it just a skull? The last thing we see before our body gets stolen. Their eternal decay shall be noble, to rot, to teeter on that irony that this extension of their decay will be the closest thing to prove of their own theory of magic. But it will be finite. The world is not perpetual motion machine. What is perpetual will take work to repeat this process sevenfold. The new worlds grow rich enough with decay for the harvest. 7 times 7 new worlds. I will chip away. Will be a step towards the end of decay. Yeah, I think it's time to burn this library. Not just the book, the whole entire library. Ooh. Well, oh. Think it's kind of too late to burn the library. I think they've taken us over. Oh, that's cool. Oh my, what are you doing? Who are you? You're the person who's trying to possess me, aren't you? You're just gonna follow me around now. You're showing me your new world, your new creation. Well, I don't accept your creation. I will never accept your creation. I guess these are all like buildings destroyed by this creature. I don't know what I do about it. Maybe we fight it. What have you done? What have you done? I can barely remember, but a shadow plagues me. A shadow of memory of what this once was. Green and whole and alive, and now all's dust and decay. Are you happy? Are you happy? No, I'm not happy. I didn't do this. You did this. Where are you? Why do you keep disappearing? Look upon these ruins and despair. This is your end of decay. A fallen brick cannot fall any further. What do you mean? You did this! I wanted to leave! I didn't want to continue your story and rewrite your history. You wanted to do that. That was all you. I don't even know your name. I don't even know if you have a name. I'm gonna call you Darkness. Why do you stay here to taunt me? Do you wish to be the ruler of a dead world? I wish something feasts on our energy, as our deaths are drawn out forever. Oh, I think he possessed us or something. Do not dwell in the past now, do not dwell. There is so much work to be done. My body, my bones, my servant, corporeal self. Come to me on this 7 worlds. I wish to feel my hands again as I craft the next page of history. Will you take this step with me? Will you join me in the new worlds? No! No, you're gonna destroy those worlds too, just like you destroyed this one. I think it's too late. The end. By Freya Campbell and Grim Baccaris. Freya would like to thank Patreons. Grim would like to thank supporters. Well, that was cool. It was very interesting, to say the least. Well, if there is a good ending to be found, we did not find it for sure. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the end of Decay, the end of the world, and the end of every other world in the galaxy. I don't know what those 7 worlds were exactly. Maybe they're just talking about, because, you know, if the universe is endless, technically there's more planets with life on them, so maybe they're gonna destroy those planets too. I'm not sure what I read just now. But again, thank you for watching, and we'll meet again in the next contingency.